Greetings, friends, families, and strangers of Twitch chat. Welcome back to Whithe. When last we left our persons of interest, they had entered the town of Yerhinyatska in the Kniazi Dominion, just before nightfall. They got themselves a collection of inn rooms after attempting to tie up Lefman. And Carpine learned something
Successfully.
really r- learned that some of the people that she's with make some bad choices.
And Aki got puked on.
And
Again.
yes,
And
several
I
people
have showered since then, though. Or bathed,
baths are
at least.
available as part of the accommodations. Choices were made, shenanigans occurred, and now it is dawn. The next day. So I'm just going to go top to bottom. Jinx, what are you getting up to?
Coffee. I need coffee. I'm gonna head downstairs and see what sort of caffeinated beverage is available, and if they don't have it, I'm going to make my own.
Do you have the supplies to make your own?
I do.
Ah. Um, there are a variety of caffeinated teas available. Um, there is also just um a bottle of a clear glass bottle containing a clear liquid that you pick up, uncork, take a whiff of, and realize is extremely alcoholic.
Hmm. Nope. I'm going to brew my own coffee.
All right.
How are we handling our inventory? For something
Uh,
like this, because I do
I
have
am
coffee in my inventory, but
I'm not asking folks to keep track of food. I am not asking you to keep track of ammunition. I am saying that if you have coffee, you have a arbitrarily large supply of it. You will always be able to make coffee
okay. I
until
am
I
going.
decide otherwise.
Okay. I'm going to present said coffee stuff to the people downstairs at the bar to see if they can make me some coffee.
Um, it has been some time since we have used this. Perhaps it would be better for you to use your own. Do we need to grind this? Do we need to do something particular?
No, if you can point me in the right direction of the kitchen, I can make it myself. I just didn't want to be rude.
All right. Do we need to like pick you up and put you on the counters?
Might not be a bad idea. She's looking up, going, well, I can climb, but that might not be the most sanitary thing ever. So, yeah,
The
you get
person
me up
behind the
there,
bar
save me
turns
some
around.
water?
Sergey, get the box. Go back and talk to Sergey.
Oh,
And
okay.
they point you at the door.
Okay, perfect. Awesome.
Hello, I'm Sergey. You're greeted by an 8-year-old.
Hey, I'm Jinx. I need coffee, so I need water and something to boil the water in.
Okay.
Point me in the right direction.
Also box.
Yes. Oh,
Uh, Sergey gets you um the smallest kettle available. There's like a water barrel that you're not sure if it's rain runoff or pumped up from below the ground or just hauled here from wells or fountains. But it's clear and it's good. And it's like tapped in the side, so you just open it up, fill up your kettle, and shut it off. Then they he points you to the fireplace and boil your water. And the box is there in case you need to get to anything on the counters.
I'm gonna look around. Is there anything interesting?
I mean, it's a kitchen, so yes. There's lots of cool stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up a random shiny, you know, like stirring instrument to stir
Mhm.
my coffee, and then I'm gonna drop
Okay.
it off to the side and
Mhm.
just kind of look around, dig through stuff just because I can and because I don't really know what it is, but it looks interesting. So I'm gonna pick it up and then I'm gonna set it
Uh,
somewhere else. I'm gonna make a complete mess of their area without meaning to.
okay. I'm going to ask you to kindly roll me a d20. The lower you roll, the bigger the mess. All right. Sergey does not say anything to you. He just follows you around and puts everything that you move around back where it belongs.
I make myself a giant mug of coffee and go out to the center area and sit down Indian style on the
Mhm.
table with my mug of coffee. And
Yeah, like.
I'm not moving. I have my coffee. This
Mhm.
is my world. I'm good.
All right. That's going to be Jinx for a while. Hey, Carmine. It's dawn. What are you getting up to?
Um, well, she's gonna take her time, um, doing her hair for a little bit, thinking about the Pyra's Days activities where she kind of showed a little bit of her colors when she was trapping Leftman, um, making him in the rope. But after that, she's gonna grab like maybe some of her paint supplies that she has, and she's gonna organize it, make sure everything's there, because she
Mhm.
has a feeling that Jinx is a klepto. So,
What
You're
gave you
not
that
wrong.
idea?
um,
Who, me?
um, and then she's gonna see that Sebastian's still in the bucket of water, so she's just gonna carry the bucket downstairs with her with him still in it.
Sebastian ribbits at you, thankfully.
And then she's just gonna she's gonna hobble over because the bucket's kind of heavy because Sebastian's kind of big, and then she's gonna see Jinx on the table. She'll go, "Oh, hi there. Do you mind?" And she's just gonna clunk the bucket on the table next to Jinx, and then she's gonna keep walking out outside to try and see if she can enjoy the colors of dawn for a bit.
Jinx is gonna peek over the top of the bucket and go, "Hey, I've got coffee. You want me to like pour some in?"
The frog pokes its snout up out of the water, shakes its head subtly, smoothly, unmistakably, then puts its face back into the water.
Not a morning frog. Got it.
Are you still looking at Sebastian?
Yes.
He shakes his head again in response to not a morning frog.
Is that a no? I'm not sure. I'm willing to share.
Still shaking his head.
Okay. You're
They go
lost.
back and forths. Small bug flies in through the window. It goes dressed over the bucket, and Sebastian throws his head back, sticks his tongue out, snipes it, and starts nibbling at that placidly. Carmine, you're outside. You're enjoying the the colors up in the sky. Are you going to try to paint them?
I don't know. How pretty are they?
It's dawn. It's pretty.
Um,
There's flaming oranges, burning reds, bright yellows.
she'll
The night
try and
being banished. The purple night being banished.
she'll
In the
try and
dis
use. Sorry.
uh in the along the north in the distance you see mountains. That's kind of neat. It's nice being on land because you spent a fair bit of time on that locked in that boat coming over.
Um, yeah. Sun is nice. Um, she'll try and use the yellow that she found yesterday to see if that yellow matches the yellow, and she'll go ahead and work on the yellows first.
Okay.
But yes, she will paint.
You kindly roll me a crafting skill check.
Alright, 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 alright. Oh, there it is.
You're painting and you're looking at it and you're like, yeah, this is pretty right. This feels good. It's good to be back in this. I wish I had more colors. I need to get more colors. More colors are important to me. And you feel a tug on the part of you that you lost to get your magic. It says that you should absolutely get more colors today. And on that ominous note, hey Aki,
Mm-hmm.
what are you going to be doing this fine morning?
Aki is going to he'll be sitting up in his bed. Obviously he'll be looking at the brooch and the feathers
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of lost in thought for a very long time. Just kind of flashing through lots of memories of his lessons and home, or his newfound home at least.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of just thinking about everything that has gone on so far.
Okay.
And he just kind of loses himself in his thoughts, and time just kind of flips by without him realizing it. And after a while, he'll just snap out of it, and um, he'll probably just go downstairs and see if there's anything to eat to get started with the day. But this definitely happened like way before anyone was up, because he tends to wake up very, very early.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Yeah,
was
you spend like an
probably
hour in the pre-dawn darkness just listening to the kitchen staff getting going.
the only thing that probably made him go downstairs was hearing Jinx and Carmine thunking the bucket on the table from downstairs.
All right.
And he'll come downstairs, he'll join everyone, and he sits down at one of the chairs at the table and he says, "Good morning, Jinx. Did you sleep well?"
Morning. Me? Okay. That's all right.
Well, it could have been worse, I guess. Um, he's gonna try and get the owner's attention. I'd like to place a breakfast order for today. Goodbye.
I apologize for
Hello.
that. My internet super died.
I was like, we went
Like
quiet
threw me
for a sec.
off. The network kind of died. You come downstairs. There's food. There's drinks of various descriptions. Jinx is drinking coffee that she appears to be making herself, and Carmine's frog is sitting there in a bucket, just kind of letting the world go by.
Nice. He's just gonna uh take some. He's looking around for like the most like porridge, like a rice porridge.
It isn't rice, but they've got grain porridges.
I'll take a grain porridge. He's gonna put like do we have any runny eggs
Yeah.
and
They
bacon?
have eggs that can be made to order.
Can I get some runny eggs and some bacon, please? And he's just gonna put that all into the porridge and eat it all at once.
Okay. Are you gonna just sit down across from Jinx and start eating?
No, I asked her how her morning was. I asked.
Uh,
I think you got cut out when I
yeah,
was
that
doing
was
all that.
probably while my internet was down.
But I'll just be kind of chatting it up with Jinx and well, there are worse places to sleep than where we were today.
Mhm.
Hopefully we get up to some fun a little bit later today, right? See what the day brings us. And then as the food arrives, he goes very silent and just focuses on eating. And he'll also have like maybe a fruit juice of some sort,
Mhm.
whatever is available.
Lime.
Perfect.
All right. Next up is Chef.
Hi, Captain.
Chef, it is dawn. You have awoken. You untied the rat man, and
n-
woke up the next morning. So
the moment the first log hit the fire in the kitchen and the clank of the first kettle for tea went on, Chef's eyes open wide, sat bolt upright, ninja'd his way out of the room,
Mhm.
washed his face, washed his hands, walked into the kitchen. Y'all good for breakfast service, man?
Yes, we will be fine.
All right, thank you, sir. Then he grabbed a cup of tea
Mhm.
and sat outside, like back of the house where the service exit
Mhm.
to go take a break is.
Yeah.
Watch the sunrise.
I mean, that would involve going out front because the front of the house is full east. But you can like poke your head around to like here.
Yeah, just sitting out there.
You watch as Carmine comes out.
Morning, little lady.
Good morning.
You hungry?
Possibly, but I'm a bit distracted by my work here.
He's
Alright.
pulled out easel and is starting to like sketch out a skyscape.
Alright, well, I'll see you in there for grub. What's your little buddy, by the way?
Pardon? What do you mean?
Your frog friend.
Mm-hmm.
What's his favorite?
You can ask him if you like.
I shall, in fact. Enjoy your work. Chef's gonna walk back in, walk over to, I'm assuming, the bucket on the table.
Yep. There's Jinx and Aki there. There's a bucket on the table next to them.
Morning, y'all. He's gonna.
Morning, chef.
Jeff, I got coffee.
I'm good, thank you. He's gonna look in the bucket. You hungry, little feller?
Frog opens one eye, shakes his head.
Fair enough. And then Chef is going to place his breakfast order.
I should have specified this earlier. It's a buffet thing. You can just go get it.
Do they have steak?
Oh,
They do not have steak,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Do they have bread?
They have bread. They have like a ground pork sausage.
He's gonna ask if he can get a steak, 10 eggs. He's gonna grab half a pound of bacon and a loaf of bread.
Okay.
And then double pay for whatever they ask.
It's included in the fees for the night. It's a it's a bed and breakfast kind of a thing.
Then leave a couple silver up on the...
All right. Mark off 2 silver.
And then sit down and commence to jiggling.
All right.
Eating his 5 pounds of breakfast that he has.
Fair enough. Leftman, you awake? Chef says he
Am I
untied you,
able?
so you
Yes.
are untied.
Am I able to smell what's going on downstairs?
Oh yeah, you smell food.
Oh, Leftman being the absolute rat that he is just up so fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's as if he was being possessed by something, and he just books it
Okay.
downstairs.
All right.
As he comes in, he's going to look at Chef and the food that he's got and says, "Food? What?
Did you wash your hands first, boy?"
What?
Wash your paws.
Where?"
Do they have a wash facility downstairs?
Yeah, if you need it.
Would Chef know where it is?
I mean, yeah, there's a wash basin, and then you can pick up your dishes, and then there's the food, and then there's the place you put your dishes back for everything to get washed for lunch.
He's gonna point to the wash basin. inhaling bacon.
Leftman rushes over to the wash basin, dips his paws in, that's it, shakes them dry, and rushes as fast as he can to wherever the food's at.
Like I said, it is buffet style. You go down the line and you
He
pick up
is
what you want.
stacking his plate full.
Okay.
I don't know why I just imagine his hands, his whole body, like half of it goes into the wash basin and he comes up looking like a wet dog. And running over to the buffet.
I just had the image of him running straight down the buffet line, like on
Yeah.
the table. So
He doesn't even grab a plate. He grabs like the actual like sheet
First
of
platter, second platter, third platter.
Yep,
fourth
yeah.
platter.
The whole thing.
They
Mhm.
said it was all you could eat.
Steph, roll me a fortitude save, please.
Who, me?
Chef.
Chef.
Oh, okay.
All right. You get through about 3 pounds of the food that you've taken, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have taken quite so much. Nah, and then you get back to eating it all. But yeah, Leftman, you have an amount of food that is larger than your head, stacked in like 3 bowls and 2 plates.
Is perfect.
Mhm.
No utensils needed. He is just going to town.
He's got his mitts.
Mhm.
And all you guys hear is the little nibbling and squealing. He's a very loud eater.
Mhm.
I guess I better eat something. So I get down and go over to the buffet and grab a little bit of meat and eggs and
There's
come back to
porridge,
eat.
there's bacon, there's sausage, there's scrambled eggs
Bacon,
out.
definitely bacon.
If you ask them to make you some particular kind of egg, they're happy to do that. There's some vegetables, there's various herbs from out back at the garden. There's food.
I grab food, I go and eat, and go back to my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Aki will look around and did Carmine come in at all yet?
No.
She breezed
Okay.
through, but she hasn't returned.
He's gonna grab a plate and get some fruits and breads and whatever he can that's left behind that wasn't just taken, and he just sets it aside for Miss Carmine. Like a little sampling plate of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Charcuterie board.
Breakfast cootery board.
Yeah.
Sounds fantastic.
I mean, if you guys are looking for guidance, you need to find the Caniscordio dude. And other than that, just you guys are in town, you can do what you like.
What do we want to get up to is the better question.
Is Carmine back with us, or She's still painting.
I'm still painting.
We wait for the little lady to eat her breakfast, and then we go.
Sounds good to me. Any ideas on what we have in store for us today?
Is there anybody else in here?
Folks around the place.
Is the chef out or is he in the kitchen?
He is in the kitchen mostly.
I'm assuming I'm done eating at this point.
Yeah,
The
mostly.
5 pounds of breakfast has been devastated.
You are still working your way through the bread, but yeah.
Taking the loaf with me, I'm gonna walk up to the front desk.
Mm-hmm. Hello?
We were sent here to find some fancy pants governmental gentleman. His name,
Kenya?
I believe so.
The Kenyas lives north. You will know him. He is very obvious, and she holds up her fingers like he's got horns or something.
He's gonna look back at the group. Y'all remember the name of the feller we supposed to find?
The Kenyas?
There was a guy?
Some guy.
Sweet gods. Chef's gonna walk out front to Carmine. Hey there, little lady. You remember the name of the gentleman we were supposed to deliver his mail to's?
Oh, give me just a second. She's gonna put a paintbrush down.
I am so sorry for interrupting.
Oh, no, you're fine. It just helps me sometimes to paint. We're supposed to find Canis Gordio.
Canis Gordon who? Got it.
Okay.
Yes.
Gonna walk back to the front desk.
No, this cannot go well.
We're here to find a Canis Gordon who?
I am not familiar.
Maybe it was Canis. I really don't remember for sure, but I know Gordon who is the last name.
I am not familiar, unless you mean that that old Imperial little, and she says a word in a language that we don't recognize, but appears to be some kind of epithet that I keep away from my Sergei.
That sounds like the feller.
I don't know where he is. He lives up north, but that is all I know.
Well, I'm sorry to have bothered you, and thank you for your time.
All right.
Gotta head back to the table and sit down and finish the loaf of bread.
All right.
Well, we know that the government official guy is up north. So we could start there. Maybe he'll have some more insight onto our guy that we're actually looking for.
So are we gonna head back out? Are we gonna stay here? Are we gonna do stuff?
Focus on your coffee. We're gonna let the little lady eat first.
See, Jinx has been drinking the equivalent of a double shot of espresso in a large mug. So she
Yep.
is just jittery as hell and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going, okay, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Yeah, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
As you do, yeah.
Gonna pull out 3 silver and yeet him across the room.
Oh, shiny! I go running after it.
All right.
Anything on their list that you can think of, Mr. Chef?
Pull the list out of his pocket on his chef's coat and see if anything's glowing.
Nope.
Jinx go, ooh, what's that? And she's gonna bring the money back, and she's going to sit down on the table and hop up on the table to look at the list and completely forget about the money.
I will grab my
also,
3
Mr.
silver
Chef.
back.
The list has been updated, and it would behoove you to keep track of the new list. It is under handouts, labeled the chef's list.
I see it now.
A tardigrade of a water bear? What's that?
And nothing is glowing, you said?
Nothing is glowing.
Well, maybe obviously sitting here in the same spot and hoping for results won't help, but maybe if we wander around a little bit.
Is the clear jug of what appeared to be alcohol?
It's a bottle, and yes, it's still there. A couple of people have been, like, spiking their tea with it.
Gonna crack the bottle.
Alright.
Smell good, smell drinkable.
It smells, like, really alcoholic.
Gonna pour myself a teacup of it.
Okay.
Go back to the table
A
and...
teacup of Everclear.
Hey, I ate 5 pounds of breakfast. I'll be alright. The bread will absorb it. That's why I eat so much bread.
Fair enough.
Gonna sit there with pinky out and just take little sips like it's tea. Waiting for Carmine to eat breakfast.
Yeah, it's very alcoholic.
Gonna do the thing from the coffee from Pulp Fiction and hold the cup up to the people behind the counter and nod.
Mm-hmm.
And put the cup back down on the...
She shrugs and goes back to scrambling more eggs. Or goes back to bringing out more scrambled eggs.
Oh, I know what I can ask. I'll go up to the um I'll go up to the owner of the tavern and I'll kind of pull one of the feathers out from the brooch.
Okay.
And I'll ask her, Madame, have you seen any of these birds that have these feathers in this
She's shaking
area?
her head. None.
Ah, thank you for your time. He'll put it back in the brooch and walk away defeated.
All right. So, Carmine done. Food eaten.
Yeah, she'll
Carmine,
go
are you
back
still
in.
out? Okay.
Sorry.
Um,
Yeah.
Carmine, as you like push open the front door, you hear a door slam somewhere behind you, and you turn around, and the gates have just been pushed open by like a 10-foot tall minotaur.
Oh. Okay. That's a big person. And she's just gonna seek the safety of inside.
And you guys also hear the gate slam open, and you turn around, and you're like, that minotaur is like 10 foot tall. That's kind of intimidating. And he's surrounded by other minotaurs and a gaggle of orcs, and they are just, and he has like one end of a spit over his shoulder, and he's just walking in with like a moose tied to this thing. Um, and the owner pokes her head out. Ah, the Kinyas has returned. Excellent, excellent.
We found our guy. Well, one of them.
Then he starts making his way north.
Oh, I'm gonna follow him.
Okay. You slip out and you follow him. They are somewhat understandably being extremely unsubtle. They're going this way. And there's occasionally like children will come up and they'll say something to him in a language that you don't speak, and he'll answer in the same language. Then they go away to till their parents, or so on and so forth. Jinx, are you trying to be subtle about not about following them?
I'm just bored and curious, so I'm not making a particular effort towards stealth.
Okay. One of the other minotaurs turns to look at you.
Hi,
Why are you following us? What are you doing here? Who are you?
name's Jinx. What are you doing?
We are returning after the hunt.
What'd you catch?
Well, the Kenya is prefers to hunt moose. The rest of us generally take less threatening prey. Um, he's got like a wild boar draped over his shoulders. And like strapped to his back is just like a boar spear that's been snapped in half. Um,
Neat. Can
yeah,
I come with?
there will be a big roast festival, probably beginning around the noon after we butcher the the prey.
I can help.
He looks at you. You do not have the look about you.
Chef is going to have followed her out.
Yeah,
Aw.
she's talking to like a 7.5-foot tall minotaur. You're not used to looking up at people, Chef. You have to.
Chef is going to walk over and look up. Gentlemen's, snatch her by the collar, turn around, and walk back
Nice
to
to
the bar.
meet you.
Like I said, there will be a roast. There will be a roast meat tonight. So long as you aren't part of that nonsensical cargo thing happening down by the docks, you are more than welcome.
I can assure you we are not, and I can assure you we will eat that meat.
Excellent.
I did not mean for it to come out like that.
I do not know what you mean. Are you trying to make a sexual joke?
I do not know what you were talking about, sir.
Okay. I do not know what you are talking about either, so that makes two of us. I will see you if I see you. If I don't, well... He points at Jinx. I'll blame that one.
That is a fair assessment, sir.
I didn't
He
do
turns
it. Nobody
around and
saw
he
me
starts
prove it.
walking, and he starts
Can't
walking
prove
away
anything.
north.
I didn't do it.
He's already shrugged and moved on.
Head back to the inn.
Jinx kind of deflates. I really wanted a ride.
I swear, we might have to put one of them air harnesses on you a little bit. Alright, so they said Canis Gordon, who should be north. Y'all ready
That's where he lives.
Y'all ready to tuck nuts and fuck butts and get out of here?
My.
Hey, Roo?
I don't know about all that, but I'm ready to walk to our next place, I guess.
Alright,
I
Ears.
don't know what that means, but okay.
Alright, Ears, Fairman. My lady, shall we?
Let's go. And Aki will look around, make sure that he got everything that he needed, make sure that he's got his bags and his supplies, takes one last swig of his wine, and heads out.
All right.
Alright there, Fairman. I think you ought to stick here with me so that we don't necessarily have to put you in bondage again.
I really hope we don't have to.
My lady,
I'm
since you have the letter, I say you lead.
I'm so sorry, I'm eating and you said that at like the worst time. Okay. Yes. Sorry, I'm so sorry. She's gonna fish out the letter really quick and hand it to Chef. Because I don't believe I've actually handed the paperwork to anyone. So she's gonna hand it over so that at least Chef, she can determine from her own assumption of him. At least someone has a brain here and is willing to have motivation. So she's gonna hand it to him to have him look over it.
On the exterior of it, it just says Caniscordio.
All right, there, Canis Gordon, who?
I do believe someone mentioned prior to me about that he might be visiting brothels very often, or something of the sort. He seems to be a man of the pleasures.
Well, all right. Anybody on the streets?
I mean, it's dawn, so like, merchants are starting to get are making sure that their inventories are organized. People are going to the fountains and wells to get water for the day. Like, it's busy, but people are generally minding their own business, and you guys are getting some side eye, but it's mostly just because you guys look absolutely wild. And some of them are looking at you like, oh, hey, those people probably have money. That's good. This is an opportunity. Or will be in an hour after I've done the inventory. Why do they have to be up so damn early?
One of the people who is gawking.
Nobody's gawking. Folks are going around their business. It's just, some of them are like, oh, hey.
Some of the
go
Ohei
back to
people.
business.
I would like to walk up to one of
Okay.
the Ohei people.
All right.
Morning.
Hello?
I apologize for asking such an awful question at this early hour in the day, but can you direct us to your finest house of ill repute in the city?
Oh,
What do you mean?
Whores, man. Looking for whores.
He's like 12. You're looking for horses?
I think I may have chosen the wrong gentleman to speak with at this time.
Papa!
That's better.
The father comes out. Hello,
Papa.
how can I help you? This is the stable. What do you need help with?
I apologize for such an indelicate question at this early hour in the day, but can you direct me to your finest house of ill repute in this city?
Do you mean
Whores.
Like,
Yes,
the
I mean
brothel?
whores.
You're at this one here. Making to make sure I'm on the right. And he points you down this way. You come to the end of this. There will be a large building. However, before you get there, you'll meet the barricade. And, well, good luck getting through that.
Might there be any
No.
others?
I'm sure there are, but that one is there for the sailors to come in. So it is the biggest and the most expensive. It is the largest and the most expensive. Just don't tell my wife that I know that.
I have no idea what you're talking about, sir. You have a lovely morning.
Exactly. And he goes back around to running the public stables.
Is north up on this map?
Yes.
I guess we'll start heading north.
I should have made that more clear. I apologize.
So what have we found so far? We found your House of Joys.
No horse, apparently.
Apparently, the finest house in town is behind a barricade. So I do not think that is where we are headed.
My.
And so we got north. Anybody got any ideas? Anybody want to give us a shot? Because I don't think they really understand what I'm talking about here.
It does seem more of a conservative little town rather than an entertainment town.
We can follow the horse guys. They went that way. Jinx points north.
DM, I want to make like a leap of faith in logic. I don't know if
Okay.
you'd like me to roll for that first, or if it's just like I can try and think about it out loud to the party members.
I would like to know where you're thinking before I tell you to
Uh,
do anything.
okay, let me whisper to you really quick.
Okay. So, guys, what she's thinking is we're gonna be real sneaky and real
You
subtle
evil,
about it.
evil woman.
I mean, I'm just gonna commit to if there's anybody in the group who's just like straight up evil, it's probably Carmine so far. Because like I think Lefman is just in it for wanton destruction. Jinx is in it for shenanigans. Like
Shiny.
Chef, you could probably pay to do evil stuff, and Aki is like mostly
Accidental
just
evil
confused.
stuff.
But if there's somebody who's just like, yes, I don't like this person and I just want to hurt them. All right. Carmine, if that's what you're thinking, you are more than happy to have that discussion in character.
Okay. I guess we'll start walking together north, just to move, if you guys would like.
I'm fine with that.
Lead on.
And while we're walking, Carmine's gonna be putting the paperwork back and starting to think to herself. And she's gonna suddenly turn around, probably smack into Chef in the process.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay. I think something doesn't seem right to me, because we heard that he's clearly a man in charge of something, someone important, right? Obviously. And we've been told that he's a visitor of pleasure houses. But the thing is that why would a man of stature risk that? So something tells me that either the man who told me that was lying, or we may not be looking for a regular pleasure house, if you get my meaning, Chef.
So we're looking for an underground program.
Shiny horse. Got it.
I'm digging what you're shoveling.
Now, I would love to help in that endeavor, but I clearly am not wearing the type of clothing, nor appear to have the stature to investigate those type of things. We might need to figure that out when it comes to it.
The
We can
other
also
thing,
just get Leftman to rat around.
the other thing I would add to that, Miss Carmine, is necessarily do they have to be women only?
That as well. Might have to think about that.
That is precisely why I use the all-encompassing term.
So I
instead
believe
of
we
being gender
cannot.
specific.
I believe we cannot be asking 12-year-old boys in the street about pleasure houses. We're gonna have to ask a little bit more.
The
Or
lady has a point.
we have to be a little picky about who we ask.
Um,
I mean, you mentioned you mentioned your clothing, and if you want to change, like, there are several tailors who will sell clothing.
I can also scrap
There's
something
also
together
the
too.
it's not really necessarily the Adventurers Guild, but it's more of like a traveler support store that's a little bit more specialized than a like general supplies place. But like they sell like warm clothing, travel food. They don't sell animals, but they sell like supplies for animals. I'm trying to say it's not quite fantasy REI, but it's pretty close.
Fantasy REI.
Fantasy Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah.
Let me see. I have. Trying to think about something. Okay, I have a Pathfinder question, and I remember you answering
Okay.
this question, but I just would like a nice gentle reminder. What is the difference between society and diplomacy? Is that like the same or different?
So society, the skill, uh, based off of intelligence, from the book. You understand the people and the systems that make civilization run, and you know the historical events that make societies what they are today. You can use that knowledge to navigate the complex physical, societal, and economics workings of settlements.
So
And it
theoretically,
is
I might be using society a lot here. Okay.
it is used for history about things, understanding laws and societal structures and cultures.
Okay.
You can use it to say find shelter or scrounge for scrounge for bits or beg for food. Um, if are you trained in society?
Yes, because I have a 6.
In that
Yes.
case, it's used for code breaking and forging documents as well.
Awesome. Okay.
Mhm.
If Aki is willing, I would probably ask Aki to make me a spare set of clothes if he's willing. That's more dressed down to what I have right now, but not give it to me right now. I don't need it right now. But if push comes to shove, I might need it.
I could definitely fit something together. I'm not sure if it'll have the same size, but definitely something a little bit more risque, I
Yeah.
guess. I
Okay.
can definitely work with that, I guess.
I mean, we can always just buy you cloths from a tailor, and I'll have you. I'd rather.
Oh, you're making me go in? Oh.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, she would. I would love for you
No,
to try
it's
and make
fine.
it, but I think Carmine would rather Aki make it, but maybe buy the silks and the cloth for Aki, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Um,
So you're asking him to like. So you're planning to buy supplies for him to make you something
If he can, if
bespoke.
he's confident in it.
I can definitely. I would feel that Aki has very basic needlepoint work.
Okay, never mind. We'll just go to the shop.
He's definitely not a seamstress whatsoever.
I don't recall Aki having crafting. I'm like, why is this coming out now? Where's this going? But, you know, as previously mentioned, there are a couple of tailors. If you want to get like a change of clothes, you can just pay them.
Well, if Chef wants to dig around, I don't know. Oh, Chef's not back. But if the rest of the party wants to dig around, me and Aki can go maybe
Okay.
ask in the shops and the tailor shops and stuff together about Kingness and also find clothing at the same time.
Do that.
Alright.
Something that I could potentially. You know what? I'll yes. We'll do that. We'll do that.
I'm just saying we look more presentable out of the groups. I feel like they can do the digging while we
Yeah.
do like the on-surface digging.
We're definitely more the prettiest of the group, I guess. Prettiest to look at.
Are there food stalls up and running?
Not really, but they aren't like selling things yet because they won't start actually selling stuff until lunch. But like, it's pretty obvious who's a food place because they're starting to cook.
That's more what I was looking for. Like,
Yeah.
there are people doing prep work and... I will grab Shiny and Furman, and we will... If you can point us in the direction of food stalls. While they go to Taylor's.
I mean, the food section is kind of like through here, down this way. And there's like 6 or 7 of them kind of all next to each other. Almost like it was planned or something.
Alright, we will head that way if you can move, because I was doing doggo stuff again, sorry. So, Ewans want to talk to the fancy clothing people and ask them about this gent, and we will hit up my kind and see what they know.
Sounds good to me.
On 3 break.
Break. Where would oh, it's Taylor's right here. I just couldn't see the. There we go.
Yeah, I realized that I was trying to get it to stand out a little bit more. The black
It's
is
all,
kind of eating it.
it's all good. Is the dark on the dark, which
Yeah.
is fine. All right. I'll go with Miss Carmine to the tailor, and we'll see how well this goes.
All right, let's pick up with Aki and Carmine first. It's a tailor, it's a seamster. It's, you know, he's got like yarns and bolts of fabric and threads and so on, and you know, off to the side there's like ready-made garments for people who are interested in such things.
Aki is going to walk a little bit up towards some of the garments and see if he can kind of find something that might be suitable for saucier wear.
Not really. Well, rather, can you just roll me a d20?
Yeah. Wolf.
This particular supplier appears to primarily be in the business of well, supply. Um, so the garments that he's selling aren't particularly well made. They aren't um particularly well practiced. The gentleman himself is rather young. And but like you're looking at like 20% of his stock, and then like the other 80% is like raw material.
Okay.
If you were going to try to make something for yourself, this is probably the place to be. Charming. While Aki is digging through garments, is there something that you would like to do?
Um, how young is the man?
Late 20s.
Hmm. Okay. Um, she's gonna, excuse me. She's gonna walk up to the counter where he is,
Hmm.
um, and kind of gently lean against it
Okay.
and try to catch his eye.
Um, you have his attention.
Okay. Um, I'm trying to think of how to ask this. That's why I'm like, my head is empty right now, apparently. Um, come on, brain. Well, first she's gonna ask. She's going to pull the ribbon, the red ribbon, out of her hair.
All right.
And she's gonna kind of let her hair fall down for a second, and
Okay.
she's gonna show it out to him and be like, "Do you by any chance have anything in this color in particular?"
Pardon me, yes. Can we go out into the light?
Sure. She's gonna kind of step out into the light.
Yeah, he
Oh.
he steps out with you into the sunlight. Dawn has now fully broken, and the sun is far east in the sky, but it is fully in the sky. And he's looking at your hair as it shines golden and honey blonde. Pardon me. And he goes back to the bolts of fabric, and he comes back with two or and he comes back with two bolts of fabric and a skein of yarn, and he holds up one of the bolts, and he's like, "No, no, yeah, yeah, yeah." And he holds up the skein of yarn against him. He's like, "No." And he holds up like this bolt of. I don't think that you're particularly trained in clothing or clothing making, so you
Mm-mm.
can't identify the fabric on site. But it is clearly of a higher quality, and he holds that up to you, and he's like, "This, it's a pretty good match for your hair."
Right, as in the color of it is the match to my hair, or it's the match
Yeah,
to the red?
the color is. Oh, you were looking for a match to the ribbon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
I thought that
She
you
was
were
just
asking to
purpose.
match your
No, she
hair.
purposely just did her hair down.
Ah, pardon me. And he runs back inside, and once again he's going to go digging. Um, And he comes back with so the first thing that he does is he comes back with uh a bolt of red that's the same red. But he also has like an entire roll of the exact ribbon that you use to tie your hair back. Are you asking for something more like this?
Um, she's gonna kind of look between the two. She's gonna go, darling. Well, I do have a curious question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm. Oh gosh, I have a decision to make. I don't like this. Uh,
Um, Aki is gonna look over and see Carmine struggling. And he'll saunter over and grasp the fabric. He
Uh,
goes,
he's brought out a bolt of silk that
ah,
matches the ribbon in Carmine's hair.
and he will hold it up to Carmine's, like just like a little bit of the silk to her face.
Yeah.
And he goes, my dear, I think this is absolutely perfect. Uh,
The
this will
tailor
look.
looks at you like you're mad. Are you insane? Look at her. She's already getting washed out by the color. She needs something a little paler and they look much less what's the word? Less vibrant. Less red. She needs a less red.
I agree. Whatever to make her look absolutely luminous. I want her shining brighter than the moon. I want her glowing like the stars. It is our honeymoon after all. And she only deserves the best.
And he's going to look back and forth between the two of you. He is going to leave the ribbon, but he's going to put the bolt of silk back, and he's going to come out with a different silk. A paler pink. Like cherry blossom pink.
Well, my dear, I think this is absolutely fantastic.
okay, well, then I will purchase some of the like.
How much are you planning to buy? How much do you need to purchase?
Um, enough for her to tie uh, a ribbon around her neck. You know how they always tie like a piece around their neck back in the day?
A choker.
Okay.
Kind of like a choker, yeah.
So you only need like
A strip.
2 inches by a yard.
Yeah.
So like 5 centimeters by a meter. Um. All right. And he takes the bolt of fabric out to the cutting board. Gets everything lined up properly. Slices it down with his razor sharp scissors.
Kind sir, I have an inquiry for you as well.
This will be
How,
5 silver, please.
I'll pay it.
All right. Mark down 5 silver. Because
I
it's
have an
really nice
inquiry
silk.
about how much would it be to commission a night dress for my new wife?
It would be about a gold and a half in materials and maybe half a gold again in labor.
And to have it done
So,
by
no?
tonight?
Four.
4 gold.
Yeah. And he nods his head.
Shit.
Can you not afford that?
I'm off slightly.
Um, she's gonna change direction while Lucky realizes money, and Carmen's gonna kind of like be, obviously since we just said that we were married, she's not gonna be too close to the tailor as he's cutting, but she's gonna be just close enough.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna ask him what color. I don't know how to put this. She's basically asking about like if he knows what like type of clothing or what color specifically women wear around here, and maybe a cough lesser women wear. But I don't know how to phrase that. If he would even have the answer to that question. She's just seeing if he would.
Women that you might be interested, kind sir.
He looks up at you as insulted. Aki.
He's just gonna give him a mischievous smile.
He turns to you, Karmi. My apologies, madam. Perhaps in the future you will train your husband until he understands the meaning of the word manners. And as to your question, practicality is best. And if you are asking for advice from a humble servant of the needle such as myself, I think that you would look excellent in green to bring out your eyes. And now, kindly, and he looks over to Aki, and then back to you. Have your husband vacate the premises.
Oh, this can go 8,000 ways. She's
However
gonna.
you want to take it.
She's just gonna glance at Aki because this might be a moment where they might get more information out of him. It's up to Aki whether or not he wants to move and leave.
Aki is going to pull out his fan. And he's going to hide his face with his fan, walk over to Carmine, and he'll whisper in her ear, "I'll wait outside," as he taps her and casts this on his way out.
So verbal and somatic components mean that you need to, like, I don't want to say like JoJo pose repeatedly, but it is extremely obvious that you are casting a spell, and a verbal component is a chant that lasts several seconds.
Then I guess what he could do is Aki can just say, because it could just, instead of a chant, it could just be a small speech, right?
It is a demonstrably magical
Oh yeah, it's
speaking, regardless.
specifically like an
Yeah.
actual.
Like
Okay.
saying a
It has
phrase
a
in Latin or
verbal and a
whatever.
somatic component. It is extremely obvious that you are casting magic of some variety to anyone who has any familiarity with it.
Would I be able to cast it from outside the tailor in order for her to?
It lasts for a round while you cast it on yourself, and if she is watching you and within 30 feet, she can also take
What?
a single action to also gain the benefit.
What if he tells Sebastian? Will it go through Sebastian to me?
No, it would just
Damn it!
affect Sebastian.
Damn it! Okay, never mind. It was.
And
It was a theory.
Sebastian does not need help on charisma-based skill checks.
Yeah,
Sebastian
Bo's
is
already a
normal.
mafia boss.
Um, I have an idea. Is there a window facing outdoor?
Not really. It's more of like a booth out front where it's like, or like a
Like the
canopy
like
covered
the Ren
area.
Fair type
Yeah,
covered.
yeah.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
Hmm.
So it is open, so you could technically see me at the entrance. So
Yeah,
what Aki could do is at the entrance, if she stays facing towards him,
hmm
he could cast it, and as she's talking to him,
hmm
gain the effect, I guess.
yeah. So
Um,
Aki, are you going to get a bonus on attack rolls, will saves, or charisma-based skill checks?
charisma.
All right, Carmine.
Hmm.
For the next round, you have a +1 on charisma-based skill checks.
Okay, cool.
A round is 6 seconds in this system, y'all. Carmine, how are you going to use this?
Well, the tailor clearly wants me on my own, hog, and that's what she kind of wanted.
All
Um,
right.
Now it's just a matter of what he wants from her. So I don't know what would apply to a charisma check. That's why I'm like, which I guess if she were to ask him a question, right, or like try
I
to
mean,
influence
like,
him.
you can also just say what you say in character, and then I'll either tell you how it goes or ask you to roll something.
Okay. Um. Did he already cut out the ribbon all the way, or no? For me.
Yeah, like it's cut well for what it's worth.
She's gonna offer over the silver that is using to pay for the ribbon, and
Hmm.
then she's going to she's going to pull a piece of silver out of her, uh, I guess her corset,
Bustier.
her low boobies. You're gonna pull a coin
Okay.
out of her boobies, an extra one,
All right.
and she's gonna ask him if he would like to tie the ribbon around her neck. And
I
make
mean,
a little bow.
and he his hand starts shaking as he nods, and he takes this yard or so of fabric, and he steps closer to you, and he slides his hands underneath of your hair around your neck, and then he takes it in both hands and he ties it in a it's not tight enough to like hurt, but like you recognize that it's there. Um and he finishes. With will 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 this be all, miss?
You see, I have to give you some honesty if you don't mind, my dear.
Yes.
You see, and she's gonna whisper in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's not my husband. He's been following me around for quite some time, and I might need a little bit of some assistance.
Consider requesting help from the Kenyas. He does not take kindly to persons who misrepresent people's attitudes to themselves.
Well, it's not in a bad way. Don't worry, not like that. Not of the sort. What I mean is, we are trying to find a place of work that maybe that gentleman might fit into.
He looks over at Aki. I mean, the dockyards are always hiring, but they are up to something at the moment. I'm not familiar with details, but he looks over. He is pretty.
I mean, of more a place of work of more sensitive topics, my dear.
What do you mean?
Bad colloquially with this part.
Where pretty people are looked at.
Pretty men.
Or you could say, pretty things are looked at.
Yeah, that could work. She's gonna lean in closer to the man's ear, just enough for her lips maybe to barely touch his ear, and she's gonna say where pretty things can be looked at. And
Like
she's
a
gonna kind of
bottle?
linger there. It's fucking
Or
Taylor, dude. I'm about to slap the shit out of him.
or do you mean like a brothel?
Yes,
If,
like a
if
brothel,
you mean,
if you mean.
and he turns so that he's whispering into your ears. If you mean a brothel, just say a brothel.
Yes, for a romance
Uh,
novel. But Jinx is finding shiny things, so it's fine.
The biggest is down by the docks. I do not know if they are hiring at the moment. For your associate.
She's gonna offer another silver from her hidden inventory of her boobies.
All right,
And
mark down another silver. You are out 7 during this conversation.
yep, that's fine. And she is going to say, I'm trying to think. What about those of lesser, more obvious notoriety and more for possibly gentlemen or ladies that may not want to be known that they're going there?
I suppose that if you were interested in more discerning taste, I am afraid that I cannot help you. Um, the higher degree of clientele takes steps to conceal these establishments.
Do you know
And
who may hire my friend then? From that? Whom I may talk to?
as you can see, I am primarily a supplier for not only myself but also the other tailors in town. However, if you are suggesting taking advantage of the fact that people tend to not be mindful around persons who they perhaps should be more mindful around. Like, well, the tailor. I suggest that you try Resman. And he points like across town where there's a massive bridge in the northeast. The last place before the bridge.
Well, thank you, my dear. And it's gonna be evil, but she's gonna put her hand underneath his chin and kind of, what is it called, where you like, I guess, stroke the bottom of his chin. But when she does that, because of her nails and how sharp they are, she's gonna nick him on the last end of it.
Mhm.
And then she's gonna say, well, thank you for your time, my dear, and of course for what you put on me today. Perhaps I'll be a returning customer soon. And she's gonna wink at him and walk out.
Have a nice day. And we are going to pick up. We are going to draw that scene to a close. We're going to run over to Chef Leffman and Jinx.
Okay, are there
You guys are going through the food corridor.
any food stalls like really close to each other?
Like, yeah, there's 6 of them that have all kind of set up along this corridor.
What can I see equipment-wise? Do we got any walks or anything? Anything of that ilk? Big boiling pots, anything like that?
It's clear that like this should be busier than it is, which I'm just telling you because like you're a cook and you've done this before. The locals are mostly coming to this one who seems to be like the food wholesaler, and he's working primarily in like he's working primarily in salted meats, and he and his hand who looks like his teenage kid are unloading a shipment of vegetables from the outlying farms. Everybody else looks like they're having a really rough time. And at the other end of this street, there is a large barricade.
Sorry in advance.
Seems wholly improvised.
I'm gonna walk up to one of the places prepping. It
Okay.
looks like they're having a rough go of it.
Yeah.
What
Yellow?
do I see people-wise?
Middle-aged. I was about to call mid-30s middle-aged. Mid-30s couple. The mom occasionally hollers at like small children, and the dad is the dad is out front prepping what appears to be some kind of seafood stew or chowder.
Perfect. I'm going to walk up to the father figure.
Also, it's this one.
We'll walk up to the father.
Mm-hmm.
How's your water boiling, buddy?
He gestures over at the barricade. About as well as could be with the dark hands getting up to. He gestures at it. All of this nonsense.
Alright, so I got this question.
All right.
I'm assuming Leftman and Jinx are with me for this.
That's up to them.
Y'all with me?
Yeah.
Sure.
Outstanding, what I was looking for. I'm gonna point at Leftman and say, how much to let me cook this for you, little feller? I got this recipe I've been meaning to try.
Leftman's gonna look at him in shock.
The cauldron won't be large. The pot won't be big enough.
I'm just messing with you, man.
I
am
think that
just
the
messing
Ginyas
with
is
you, man.
having a. No, I mean the Ginyas is having his big pit roast tonight to try to keep everything going. I'm just trying to make sure that people have lunch.
He's my little buddy. I would never do that to him. But you got a
I
minute
mean,
while you're
they eat
staring?
people, so yeah. It's
So,
not like there's going to be any business for a few hours.
are you all the hub? Is this where all the peoples come to eat?
The people who don't cook for themselves, yes.
Do you have any of them customers? Because I'm looking for a feller. I'm looking for a fancy feller.
What are you looking for?
Canis Gordon who? If I had to guess, judging by the name, I would say he's one of those guys. If you know what I mean, from the
Crunches
business.
up his face. You mean Gordio?
Yeah, that's it. Canis Gordon who?
Ah. Yes, he gestures over his shoulder. He's in one of the bigger houses up the hill, but he does imports. I think he's probably having as bad a time as anybody because the Dakians are practically an open rebellion and not letting anything through. Still, they're less fucked up than the people who want to convince you to chop your own balls off.
You mean that's a thing?
Yeah. Yeah, they are the Skopsky.
Wow, fuck those guys. I tell you.
No, they don't believe in having sex. It's a pretty bad religion. I don't know how they keep getting people involved.
You mean you don't know how they keep getting work?
I mean, I suppose the leader is really crazy. But he looks around. Frankly, I'm not expecting a whole lot to be happening today. It's hard to run a seafood business when seafood can't get ashore.
Alright, well, two things. Number one, have you seen Canis recently?
Not for the last several days. That is not uncommon. He has staff members to cook for him.
Okay, 3 questions, sorry.
Alright.
Can you point me in the direction of a staff member or give me a name?
So he pokes his head out with you and he says, this road next to me, you follow it up until it comes to a T and then you turn right. And that will jaunt you over and then there will be another T and it will be the first on your left. And that is the manor. As for staff members, I don't know how they are doing. I haven't seen any of them either for the last few days. But if you are asking for a name, Milonia.
Thelonia?
She never gave a name. Milonia. She never gave a last name, or she never gave a surname.
Melonia. Thank you, sir. Alright, third question and final one. Sorry for taking your time.
He gestures around. It's not like I'm doing much else.
What's going on with the docks and how can I help you get some fish? I know how hard it is in the kitchen, man.
They aren't letting anything through. I don't know what is going on. Now that the Kinyas is back, he will probably come down and sort some things out. He does not like it when people take advantage of what is going on. But I just hope nobody gets hurt,
Alright, well, if you need anything, I'll be around for an indeterminate period of time. Look for me, I'm the big guy. People call me Chef. What's your name?
If you had known at the Kinyas, you would not be calling yourself the big guy.
Oh, I've seen him, but that's a whole other story. What's your name, boss?
Yozov.
Pleasure to meet you, Yosef. I'll be back, and I will do what I can to help you if the big guy doesn't. You said up to the T, make a right on the left at the next T?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your time. And I'm gonna leave him a silver.
All right, mark down a silver.
Can I see...
Leftman is with
Aki?
you.
Can I see Aki? I'm gonna look at Leftman. You know I was just
Yeah.
fucking with you, right, man?
I don't know anymore. After what happened last night, I don't know what to know.
You gotta make them laugh and catch them off guard first, and then they'll open up and talk to you. What do you say?
Couldn't we have made them laugh by, I don't know, recommending the other one to be cooked instead?
That'll be the next one. Where I will swaddle her like a baby and put her in one of those papoose things on the front of me so she can try and swing her little arms because she's all upset and then just fall asleep.
Leftman is just gonna take a sigh of both relief and...
To be fair, that is something I would do.
Alright, y'all ready?
Leftman's just gonna sigh.
Y'all ready to go find the other two?
I suppose so. I was kind of hoping to snag
Okay.
another bite.
He was looking for his hobbit second breakfast.
That chowder ready yet, boss?
It's edible.
Can I get
It's
it?
probably going to be a little cold.
Can I get a to-go cup?
Yeah, duh. You have cup?
I will pull something out of my...
Yeah, you
Cooking
guys
kit.
have like
Yeah.
cups included in adventuring gear.
I will leave him another silver piece. And will a silver
All
cover
right.
it?
Mark down for sure, and mark down another silver piece.
Alright. And I will give that to Leftman. We'll head out and look for the other two.
All right, Leftman, you have a cup of lukewarm clam chowder. You are working your way through. And Jinx, what are you gonna be getting up to while all of this is happening?
I am bored. I am looking around. I am just trying to entertain myself. What's going on around me? It looks like everything's food. I'm not particularly hungry.
Okay. Everything is food except for this place, and this place appears to be the bank.
Appears to be the bank or the bag.
Bank.
Okay. I'm gonna peek my head in there.
The bank is not like the door is shut and locked. All of the windows are shut. The curtains are drawn. There's bars over them. Out front, there's a small sign that says money exchange. And then there's another sign next to it that says no solicitations. And then there's another sign that says no loitering.
Well, hell. Okay. Fine. I go following after Chef and Leftman.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you guys try to rob. I'm not going to let you try to rob a bank at level 1 because you're bored. Or rather, you are welcome to. It will just be hard.
It would just fail miserably, which is fair. I
It
will
would be
follow Chef.
entertaining. All right.
So, gonna start walking towards the tailor. Do we see him?
Yeah. Aki is out front doing some kind of weird dance involving chanting, and Carmine is nowhere to be seen.
Gonna do a loud whistle. To try and
Carmine,
get
as you wrap
Aki's
up with the
attention.
tailor, there's a loud whistle.
Aki is just fanning himself with this fan. And he'll peek over at Carmine to make sure that she's okay and ready.
Yeah, she'll be just coming out of the shop probably at this time.
And we'll start walking towards the fountain area where the whistle came from.
All right, what y'all find out?
Miss Carmine?
Well, he wasn't of much use, but he did mention that something is going on in the harbor, and that's the second time we've heard that today. And that if we really wanted to find someone who might have know more than he may show, there's a tailor on the far side of town by that bridge over there that we could talk to.
What about you, Chef?
I talked to some of my people down in the food court, and I got the name of, I believe, his assistant, or at least one of them. It's Milonia, and I know where he lives. So I would say that's a pretty good place to start, but we have to go back to where we were, because I only remember the directions from where we were.
All right.
Okay.
So I guess we will head back to the seafood stall.
All right. Joseph waves to you.
I will give him another silver and have him refill Lefman's bowl of chowder.
All right. Mark down another silver.
And then we will follow the directions, which I believe were up to the T and right, and then up to the T and left. And head for the manor house. If you could take us there, because I don't know which one is his.
It's labeled.
Oh, there's multiple tailors.
There are multiple tailors. There are 3.
I thought he said that.
Shall we, gentlefolk?
Yes. Also, I missed the multiple tailors part. My bad.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna zoom in on this for the video. Little lady, since you have them there parcels, do you want to knock on that door?
Sure thing. And she's gonna knock on the door.
Chef
I just
will,
knocked on my desk. I'm not sure if you guys could hear that.
Chef will yell out, "Special delivery!"
I did not hear you knock.
That's okay. You hear a voice from up on the roof. Who are you? What do you want? What do you want?
My lady.
And like a 40-year-old lady pokes her head out. Who are you people?
Is Caniscordio by any chance here? I was told to deliver papers in person.
He's not home.
And where might he be?
Bill, where's the boss? You hear from somewhere inside. He's fucked off somewhere. Pokes her head back out. He's fucked off somewhere.
You know a general direction of where?
Mel, do we know where he's fucked off to? Probably the docks. Probably the docks.
And how do you expect us to get in if we can't get in ourselves? To go find him.
She pokes her head out again. Visibly raises her shoulders and shrugs. Oh, no, that sounds like a you problem. You're the ones who are making a delivery. Some of us have to work for a living.
Well, thank you for your time. Chef's gonna fake a sneeze. Dick! You have a lovely day.
Wow, Gesundheit.
Alright, let's head back over to the food court.
All
We
right.
could also
Or let's head to a fountain somewhere where we can sit and talk for a sec.
we could reconvene close to like an open space like over here too to see the barricade.
I swear to God, if we walk by the Bass Pro Shop, I will spend every dollar I have.
You
I
definitely
restrained
walk past the
myself.
shop.
I restrained myself the first pass.
We're gonna have to pass it again. Anyway,
You guys can zoom out and just look at the road. You have the whole ass map that you can say, and nobody was like, oh, I'm going to explore town. It's not like I'm putting up walls and shit.
If you'd like, Miss Carmine, we could also potentially check the other tailors to see if they may have more info too.
Yes, the gentleman said that there's a tailor just past, I believe, this building right here that we could talk to. That might have more information.
Would you like to try that and see if maybe they'll have more insight?
Well, they said he might be at the docks, so we'll check out this barricade they've been talking about first, because it sounds like there's fishy business down there.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but I did not want to talk about it in front of these asswipes. Sorry, no offense.
They have already gone back inside and they're doing their jobs.
Alright, well, there are a couple of options here. My buddy at the food stall said that the Kenyase will fix this problem, but he's also worried he ain't got no incoming food to cook. We could try and sneak in if y'all want to do that, or we could go talk to the big guy. Up to y'all.
I'll go with the flow, whichever.
I mean, I know we could get at least 3 of us in there, but I think Aki, me, and you might be fucked. And not in the fun kind of way. In the, oh boy, this is not a good time kind of way.
I say we do whatever stirs the most chaos.
I can sneak over the barrier.
I mean, I could throw 3 of us over the fucking barrier, but...
Ooh, yeah, eat me.
Yeah, eat her.
Yeet, not eat. Yeet, not eat.
Damn it!
Or we could see what else is going on in this place. I know we got a festival coming up tonight, and by God, I want to be paid so we can eat at that festival. You want to ask around? See if anybody knows anything? You mentioned something about another tailor.
Yeah, we might have an. Do you think we might have a way in that way, Carmine?
Well, if it's true and he is a man of many secrets, then possibly he might be able to get us in this dock that's built higher than a fort.
I
All
can
right.
stick with Miss Carmine again.
I don't know about that, Ears. I want you to wrangle the little two for a bit.
How well that went the last time.
You know you like me.
It's early to say.
All right. So are we splitting up or?
Yes.
All right. So I think it's going to be Carmine and Chef, and then the other three.
Yes.
All right.
When we go in there, Chef is gonna look like a bodyguard more than
Okay.
like protection for the little lady.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down in front, standing tall, eyes out, looking around to see if I see anything.
You are greeted by a surly-looking orc in a tuxedo who is tightening his cravat. Hi, fellow military veteran. How can I help you?
Chef will nod.
Rolls his shoulders back, stands up to his full height. Is there a reason you wear a pot as a helmet?
I reckon I also did the cooking as well as the fighting.
A wise man, a wise man. My brother was the cook for my unit. Needless to say, we made sure he got through every fight untouched.
He'll give a subtle nod.
You know, he's the haberdasher next door if you would ever like, yeah, something that looks a little less like a pot. Anyhow, how can I help you?
Carmine's gonna step in and poke her head and look around.
I'm imagining you like looking out between Chef's like arm while his hands are on his hips.
He'll give a little wave like she can pass.
Yeah, you are greeted by a very fancy orc. In the back, there's just bolts and bolts of fabric, and there is nothing like ready to be sold. There is, however, off to the side a like a drawn curtain, that like curtains off an area with like a chair. Yes, miss. How can I help you?
I'm not sure you'd be possibly able to do this, but then she's gonna take off the pink ribbon that she just bought off of her neck with just a simple tug, and she's gonna ask, is there any way by any chance you can make some gloves for me in this material?
He takes a look at it. It is very fine material. Unfortunately, it is an insufficient amount.
Do you have any more to make said gloves if I were to offer?
Nothing that would match this as exactly as I would need to. I do not. If I was looking for a particular commissioned piece, um, I would travel across to probably the same gentleman that you purchased this from, and buy fabric. Perhaps not quite by the bolt, but certainly by the. But I would purchase large quantities of it as once. However, what exactly are you going to be using these? He pulls out a notepad. What exactly are you going to be using these gloves for?
You see, I have an arranged meeting with our dear
Yeah.
Kenneth Wardio, and I would like to look as
Ah, you
best
have
as
met
I
Mr.
can for
Gord.
this meeting.
So you have not met Mr. Gordio yet.
Not yet, but it is arranged.
Ah, excellent, excellent. Um, and this orc starts sketching with a sure hand. Pardon me, miss. May I take a look at your hands? And he holds out his hand.
She'll offer her hands.
He looks at your nails. You want to wear gloves with nails like this? What the
Uh,
customer wants.
yep.
And he sketches your hand almost immaculately. And he takes a look at the fabric and he starts sketching over his sketch of your hand. Now, if you are asking for a particularly commissioned piece, I do not recommend that you wear anything with fingers. And he starts sketching like I'm trying to just think of a way of describing it that is a fingerless mitten. That like comes down over like the first band of knuckles. However, if you are wearing something like this, there's a thumb that also comes out to the first knuckle. Then, do you like this pink? You like the color? You like the way it feels on your skin?
Well,
You like the fabric?
I do enjoy the fabric and the texture of the fabric. But what do you think? The gentleman prior told me that this pink suited me more than this carmine.
Uh, for a full garment, yes. As an accent piece, however, I think that they would do excellently together. And you start sketching like a lace frill along the garment thing that he's talking about, and how high up would you prefer these gloves to go?
About so. And she's gonna do halfway up her forearm.
Okay. Da. And we have a yard here, so we will have plenty to work with. And he pulls out like a fabric measuring tape, and he measures around your hand, and he measures around your arm, and he starts scribbling down measurements. He measures how long they're going to be. Um, so, and once he's finished making his plan, he turns to you. So the price for a consultation, which is what we have just done, is 5 silver. If you would like to actually make the piece, um, then that is going to be exceedingly small, and so I will charge you not as much as I normally would. I will charge you 5 gold.
That's 50 silver, right?
Yes.
Um,
And I will begin work on them immediately.
how about I pay you 8 silver? I take this lovely sketch of yours because I myself am a painter. Maybe perhaps would like to sketch this. And
Yeah.
possibly you could answer a few questions for me.
Of course, of course. Anything for the customer. And
Okay.
part of the commission process is any materials or sketches that I create in the process. And so he takes 5 silver,
Okay.
wraps the notes that he was taking very nicely, pulls out a bit of green ribbon that matches your eyes, ties it up, and hands it, wraps it up, ties it off, and hands it to you. And as for the questions, well, you do not need to pay me to. Pardon me. You do not need to pay me to answer questions.
Well,
It is cheap.
I thank you for your time. Um, See, I have a bodyguard here, my dear friend behind us. For the
Yeah?
reason that we've heard around that there might be some discrepancies in the dogs.
Yes, Checkers is up to something. Checkers is normally up to something.
And who is that, may I ask?
Randall Checkers. He is from the mainland. He is the head of the Ducks Union. I don't know. He is, he's struggling as he's trying to think of the right word. He is not crazy, but he inspires crazy in other people.
Could one of those people possibly be Canis Gordio himself?
Probably not. Gordio goes along with it for because it is fun for him.
Funny that you mentioned fun, because I've heard that
You
Canis
have in mind.
also does other things as well on the side.
I mean, that depends on how you define things. Canis Gordio would say that he does many people on this side.
um, the reason why I'm asking these questions, my dear, is because I have struggled to find him. I'm supposed to have an arranged meeting and have gone through this entire town and yet to find him.
Ah, he when you do meet him, you will understand that he has remarkably little need for my services. However, occasionally I have seen him. Often the company of Natalia. And I have good news and I have bad news for that.
Hmm.
The good news is I can almost guarantee where he is. The bad news is that he's behind the barricade on the docks.
I see. Well, do you know by any chance how I could get in there?
You seem remarkably free with coin. Many of these cargo uprisings are based around the belief that they are not paid sufficiently for their labors.
I see.
Yeah.
And what about this lovely Natalia that you mentioned? Who is she?
She is I do not know if there is a particular word for it in common. She is the head whore, the
The
leader,
mistress of
the
the
owner.
house.
Yes, mistress. That is the appropriate word. She married the previous owner who died almost immediately under questionable circumstances, but you will never hear me say that because she is an excellent customer. And she took over because he did not have any children. This is good. She is not kind, but she is not violent either, which is an improvement.
And I presume the house is hers along the docks.
Yeah. If you go out behind my cupboard, you can look at if you look directly south.
Well, sounds like at least I can have my arranged meeting with Canis now, with your help.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
Well,
be down
thank-
there as if you approach and are willing to pay, and perhaps ask for Natalia. This is good, but be careful. If you are throwing too much money around, they will probably drag you off to talk to checkers. Which, depending on where you are going, maybe or may not be better.
And about this feast that we are going to have in town, do you think by any chance Canis would come out of the docks just for that, or do you think they will stay there?
Probably not. Half the reason the Kenyans went to go hunt is because we cannot get the food in through the docks. The fishers cannot fish. So, the hunters go a hunting.
Well, thank you very much for your time, my
And
dear sir.
they're going a little hard. I understand that they are going a little harder this season than they normally would because. And he gestures around. People need to eat.
Right.
It's a bad situation, and I wish that Checkers could have somebody talk some sense into him. But failing that, well, very often beating some sense into them, well, it's not ideal, but it will work.
Well, you have a lovely rest of your day, and perhaps I'll see you later for the feast.
You as well. And keep in mind if you ever want me to make you those gloves.
Yes, perhaps I will be back soon. Thank you.
I certainly hope so. Have a nice day.
And she's
And he
gonna
goes
saunter on out.
back to what he was working on. I mean, you guys can roll me a perception check, each of you, real quick.
Okay. Why can't I find it all of a sudden? Ah, perception.
Because it's way off on its own. Um, Carmine, just before you exit, you turn around and you catch him looking after you. Chef, he was not watching her body, he was watching her clothing, if that makes any kind of sense. It wasn't
He was
It
watching
wasn't
the
that-
flow, not the walk.
yeah. Consummate professional through and through. All right. Jinx Leftman, I get the feeling that we're going to find Aki like strung up by his toes.
Aki is just following close suit by the two.
Mhm.
And he learned his lesson the last time, so he's just letting them run free wherever.
All right.
And we'll reap the consequences from there.
Leftman, you see anything cool?
What do I see?
So this guy over here appears to be the town tailor. I'm sorry, the town tanner. Over here we have like leather goods. Here is shoes primarily. This is a smith, so if you're looking for like very shiny bits, this is a good place for it. The folks who live here make like jewelry out of seashells or various crustacean bits, but they put up closed. And it used to say closed until further notice, and it says closed until this nonsense with the docks gets fixed. And this is the butcher place.
Which place was the what was it, the did you say blacksmith?
The smith is over here.
I'm gonna turn to Jinx and say, I think there's some shinies over there.
Ooh, shiny, where?
And he is going to point in the general direction. Over there!
I'm gonna head over to the smith and I'm going to just kind of peek up over the anvil, look up at the person
Okay.
that's working the forge. And, hi!
You are greeted by a prodigiously large female minotaur. Hello, how can I help?
What you working on?
She holds it up. She holds it up. This is a pod for a plow. What are you up to?
I'm bored.
I am
I'm looking
sorry
for
to hear
something to
that.
do. So this is part of a plow?
Yeah.
How big is this as compared to me?
It's not like the plow itself, it's part of like the support structure for it. It's like 18 inches long, maybe an inch wide. You know, quarter of an inch thick.
And I imagine pretty hot.
I mean, for now, yeah, she doesn't want you to. Yes, don't touch it at the moment. But
I'm gonna reach over like I'm gonna touch it before she says that. Like,
she raises it up over your head, and she's like bigger than Chef.
we'll look up at her and go, "Oh, sorry."
Ah, no, it is
Just
for safety.
ah, okay. Is there anything fun? I'm bored.
She looks at you. Do you like puzzle?
I like puzzles.
She dunks the piece that she's working on into the water, and there's a hiss as steam starts to come off of it. And she goes across the way, and she comes back with 2 nails that have been bent into a spiral and locked together. Pull these apart, and she hands it to you.
Okay, I'm gonna try and see. Is this like one of those interlocking puzzles?
hmm
Okay, I'm gonna try and solve it.
Okay. I'm going to say that this is going to be a thievery roll. 13. You can't figure it out.
Hmm.
That you can keep going.
I'm gonna keep trying.
All right. I'm going to ask that we pick up with Lefman and Aki.
I
Jinx
am
is
going
distracted for now.
I'm sitting on the floor in the
Mhm.
in the Smith's area,
Meanwhile,
and
the
I'm playing with
giant
random.
bull-headed Smith is going back to work.
I'm gonna turn to Aki and say, "What do you think the chances of her coming out with something shiny is gonna be?"
Most likely than none.
I'll bet a silver.
I'm good. I learned better not to bet with folks like you.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean? You'll tie me up,
Troublemaker.
but you won't take my silver?
No. I'm good. I got my own. And by people like you, I meant troublemakers.
Troublemaker?
Mm-hmm.
I'm everything but.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happens that trouble sent to find my way.
Said you wanted a snack?
Snack.
Yeah. Said you wanted a snack, right?
I always want a snack.
What kind of snack are you looking for?
Everything and anything.
Let's see if I can get something tasty for you in kind of a, let's say, a truce for the tying up, maybe?
I don't know if a snack's gonna be the thing to fix that kind of a memory, but you can sure try.
I'm buying, so
Better
whatever
be.
you want.
Uh,
You looking for, I don't know, something sweet, something savory, something spicy?
you know, is it really a good idea to let her, on her own?
Yeah, she's
So tell
fine.
me, little one, what brings you to town?
See, she's fine. She's making friends.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of woke up. I was on the ship, and they dumped me here, and I've been following this group of people that I met, and I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
It seemed like a really
So
good idea at the time.
fair enough. Several things seem like a good idea at the time.
Uh, yeah, that's kind of my that's usually my main theme in life. If it seems like a good idea, that's kind of what I do.
How's that been working for you?
Interesting. I don't like to be bored. I'm
I imagine so.
I'm rarely bored, so I think it works out.
Roll me another thievery check. 17. You still can't figure it out. Trying all sorts of things. You're coming at it from different angles. You're starting like clacking the ends together and being like, haha, it sounds like sword.
I'm gonna keep working on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got my attention now.
Mm-hmm. So you are just traveling through town and not particularly familiar with anything that is going on? Or
No, I'm pretty much just rolling with it. I don't really know what's going on. I'm finding things that look amusing and doing things that look amusing when I find them to be amusing, and that's pretty much where I'm at. I like the big guy. The big guy feeds me and keeps me entertained.
the Kenyas or the one that looks like a cook?
The one that looks like a cook.
Ah, he seems kind is not the right word, but put together.
He's strong and good for piggyback rides. Comes in
He
handy.
looks strong.
I have little legs. But they're doing stuff, so I'm tagging along for now, and, I mean,
I would
comes down to
offer
I'll find something else.
I would offer a ride, but she stands up tall and her horns scrape the ceiling. That would be uncomfortable for you. So perhaps I should move the anvil outside.
That might be
Yet,
more comfortable for you.
yet I do not care for the sun. I prefer it inside. I prefer it indoors. I just
Can you make a higher ceiling so it's more comfortable for you?
not on my own.
What
That
kind of help do you need?
honestly, I probably need the construction from the dock workers, but they don't care for people. They don't care for outsiders right now, nor do they particularly care for. And she gestures to herself. You're pretty sure that she's like they're not into minotaurs.
Why don't they like outsiders? Why don't they like people like us?
Um, well, like you, as long as you pay them, they'll probably get along well. But when they look at me, they just see the Kenyas.
I'm sorry.
It is what it is. It is okay. They will. They will grow. Is and she pokes at her chest in here. Then she pokes at her head, and in here, if not then she gestures like vertically.
Well, at least they see you. They don't notice me most of the time.
Sometimes that's what's good.
Be nice to be seen every now and then.
It is. It is nice to be seen. It's not nice to have parents have to explain to their children that I am not going to eat them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ah,
You seem
it's all
nice.
right. That only happened once. I try to be. When you're, well, as big as I am, things can get broken by accident pretty easily. And through this whole conversation, she's been working. And now that piece is done, it is time to begin work on the proper finishing part. And she pulls out the plow. That's like the size of your head. This hunk of iron.
Dang. Wow.
Being pulled by an ox. So yes, it's pretty big.
I think that's probably heavier than I am.
Yeah. Why don't you come over and find out?
I'm gonna climb up. I'm gonna let him
And she picks you up. Then she picks it up with her other hand. Yet you are heavier.
except for it's heavy enough that it just slams me down onto the anvil. I'm going,
Nah, it's a solid 10, 15 pounds, but it's not enough to like flatten you.
okay.
You know, it's a plow. You've been around them before. You mentioned the that you were with the cook.
Yeah, I'm with the cook, and there's
Here
some
he
other
comes now.
people.
And she pokes out. Chef Carmine, you've started making your way south. You meet up with Aki and Lefman and Jinx.
I'm gonna hold on to the puzzle, and I'm gonna take it with me. I'm just gonna walk out with
Yeah,
it
take that.
absentmindedly.
Enjoyed the puzzle.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you.
It's a gift. It's a gift. Don't worry about it. Jinx, can you roll me thievery 1/3 time? All right, on to 25. You hold the nails in your hands so that they make like an H. Then you start twisting them together against themselves. Then you're like, oh wait a minute, this feels this feels right. And you bring one end's point to the other end's nail head, and they just come apart in your hands.
I turn around to the Minotaur. I did it! Look, I did it!
Give me a moment. And gives you two, and she gives, instead of 2 nails, she gives you one that's 4. There you go. Have fun.
Ooh. Thank you.
Yeah. And don't think that you just need to do the same thing twice. And now, the 5 of you are all together. And no doubt going to be getting up to no good.
All right, we need to get in the docks. We know where he's at. Or who he's at.
All right. Do we have an idea on how we can get through?
The grease
I
that
don't know,
lubes
but
all the monies. Or axles.
I mean, I was going to suggest, and next week we pick up with planning the entry. So thank you all very much. I really appreciate y'all coming out here. I really appreciate the wonderful audience for coming on out here. And I will see everybody next week on the 9th of June, which I gotta say, pretty nice day.
Pretty nice day.
All right, we love you. There's nothing you can do about it.
Bye.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.
I mean, I'm really sure there's some
Bye.
things that they could do about it, but bye-bye.